This is Robert Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the SeeThruEquity MicroCap Investor Forum 2015 in New York City, New York. With me right now is William Gorfein from PeerLogix, symbol LOGX. William, welcome to SNNLive.
It's great to be here today, Robert.
Thank you for coming on to the program. Now, for our audience that may not know the PeerLogix story, let's start with an overview of the company.
Well, what we do is we track about 140 million people around the world while they download TV shows, music, and movie online, and to a lesser extent, ebooks and software as well. And these are people doing it for free illicitly, commonly known as Torrent. So we've developed a way to actually track and monitor all of this activity. And what's so unique about us is we've actually built a link with advertisers. We can actually directly serve advertisements to the Torrent community, which is a first of its kind type of offering in the digital advertising ecosystem. And so as we bring that to market, we've been receiving a lot of momentum and a lot of compliments about it, and people are really grasping onto the concept so far to date.
So I'm a little curious about the technology. How did you develop something like this?
Sure, so the technology it's evolved from what was originally a Napster, and you may remember Napster and LimeWire from about 15 years ago, and this content sharing economy, as we so affectionately call it, was born from Napster, and Napster, as you know, it went away, and Napster was taken down a long time ago. But what's happened is, the demand for the content hasn't gone away, and the access to the content has only become a little bit more stringent since that time. And what people have done is the technology's evolved, and people have found other means to actually get access to the entertainment media which they want to today. And so after a few iterations, today's iteration is now Torrent, and Torrent is a pretty mature platform in of itself. And we were able to actually, because of its decentralized nature in general, we were able to build a tracker and a web scraper to actually directly connect into the Torrent network and the Torrent community as a whole, and therefore actually survey and monitor this community of people.
So my question is you must be getting calls from the NSA. I'm sure, wouldn't they be interested in this technology for that?
Well, the NSA, as you know, is more interested in actually knowing who you are from a not anonymized basis. They want to know everything you're doing, including your name and address and phone number, of course. They want to know even that you're probably at this conference today. But the beauty about the way that we track Torrents is we do so in a way that's deemed anonymous, even though we can actually reach you at your computer with an advertisement if you've been interacting and participating in the Torrent networks. From a legality standpoint, it's considered anonymous. So from the NSA's standpoint, it's also considered anonymous, and for that reason, they're not so much interested because they can't necessarily tell that either you were walking down the street or that you happened to purchase some sunglasses today.
Okay, so for our audience that may not know what a torrent is, what does that mean? Why is that the current way in which this is happening?
Well, a torrent is, just for a little bit more relevancy, when someone goes out, let's call it Google, and they want to actually watch James Bond Spectre, the most recent Bond movie that's come out. And what they'll do is they'll just go to Google, they'll type in James Bond Spectre torrent, and they'll receive a small file in which it'll direct them to the torrent platform. We call it a map. And upon downloading that map, that person will be connected to the torrent network, and they'll do so in a pretty seamless way where they won't necessarily need to understand the way it works beneath the surface, which is very important, and it's why this community has grown to be over 100 million people, is because it's become easier to access. And when someone goes and actually watches a movie on this platform or a TV show, what have you, they don't necessarily know it's called torrent, they just know they're downloading the media. And so by us being able to see that they're downloading the media, we can actually see relative demand for specific movies and TV shows, and all of this is unbeknownst to the person. However, from their standpoint, they've just gone from point A to point B and really gotten access to either the show or music they want.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the target markets for your technology. So who is that? Who is your target customer base?
Right, so our target customer base is principally advertisers, common advertisers, big brands. They're ones who want to implement what would otherwise be conventional digital advertising strategies. So, you walk up to an agency today, maybe they represent a couple retail outlets. It doesn't necessarily matter, but they're going to implement Google advertising. They're going to implement Facebook advertising. They're going to implement search advertising. They're going to do about every web advertising there is to date. And the way we fit into that is that we're just another line item on the advertising chart. Because we built the link to the Torrent community, they can now have PeerLogix advertising in the same implementation that they would, let's call it Facebook advertising. So our clients are any brands and advertisers who want to implement successful digital ad campaigns.
And so who's some of the competition? I'm sure, it's a very competitive community, of coders and in cyberspace. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are itching to probably get into doing what you're doing.
Well, the primary competition are the conventional media measurement companies, Nielsen and Rentrack and the like. And what they do and what we do, which are similar, are again measure the demand for media not only domestically, but we also do so internationally. But what's unique about us and differentiates us is the fact that, again, we can reach them directly through advertising, whereas most of the people, for example, who live in homes that are monitored by Nielsen for their TV ratings offering, they can't directly remarket it to them for advertising purposes. So although on the media measurement side there is extensive competition in the space, although we are a complement, not necessarily a competitor per se because we're a different source, the fact that we can actually directly reach them and not only measure them is a unique offering today.
Okay, so from what you can tell me moving forward, what are some of the goals and aspirations for the company towards the end of 2015 going into 2016?
Right, the two first verticals we're really attacking aggressively are lifestyle brands and music marketers. They're relatively low-hanging for us, and they're also quick to adopt new strategies. So going into 2016, we're really working on our validating clients. News has come out recently. I encourage you to take a look at it. We've had some great pilot campaigns, especially in music marketing. We're looking to build out our lifestyle segment a little bit more, but really going into the first part of next year, we're going to hit those two verticals very hard, build the appropriate case studies and validating white papers that we need to really do, to then be able to accelerate through the end of 2016.
So where can our audience go and find more information about PeerLogix?
They can go to PeerLogix.com, PeerLogix.com, or just look up the ticker symbol LOGX.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the SeeThruEquity MicroCap Investor Forum 2015 in New York City, New York. With me again has been William Gorfein from PeerLogix, symbol LOGX. William, thank you again for coming on to SNNLive.
It's been great. I appreciate it.